my God. I am just now realizing how large a Formula V is compared to the size of this track.
Oh boy.
Wow.
Oh, this is gonna be gotcha, punk.
Gotcha, punk.
So, you're probably wondering what's going on here. So are we. As soon as we figure it out, we'll let you know.
Gears?
Look at
Wow.
this. Oh, Jesus. Well, that was exciting.
Physics.
Saw that in the rearview mirror.
Saw that.
That looked like a huge incident.
Watching Shodan Pod 1, who's taking the cautious approach to climbing this mountain, which turns out to be the only correct approach to climbing this mountain. Checking in on Space Punies.
Who's in front of me?
Who's in front?
Checking in on Goals.
Conan is in front of you.
Conan is in front of me.
Goals is wearing his
I'm after
special
you,
gloves
Conan.
for the night.
God, I hope this corner exists.
And Conan, who's having some challenges that we're working through.
Man, this is quite interesting.
This is Mount Washington, and the gentlemen are on a hill climb, which is a first for us here at Tonight We Race.
Very fast.
We'll talk more about that later. In the meantime, let's watch the drama.
There's a race line on this. I don't know what to think about that.
We could have
like,
turned the racing line off, but that's not fun. That's not fair. They have to enjoy themselves.
You guys have a gear between second. Yeah.
I don't. So it looks like they've separated at this point.
A little bit, yeah. I don't see anyone in anyone else's mirrors.
There is a killer big left-hander that pops out of the forest, and you can kind of see how precarious the mountaintop position is here. Coming up shortly on, I want to say,
All
pod
I need to do is
4,
survive
maybe?
when Conan crashes.
I'm listening to the gents behind me here, and this is the first time I've heard anyone use the word caution in a racing context since we've started this project.
There's a lot of them.
There's a lot of them.
Those are some turns.
Oh, this is quite the thing.
We're told that Mount Washington has an average 18% grade, which means that the little four-banger in these cars
Not in a sim on a motorcycle.
is struggling even in second gear to redline.
Yeah, this feels like the road to Jake's house. I don't know.
Ah, here we go. Would you call this wheel to wheel?
Conan, I've
Sure.
closed almost 2 seconds on you.
Hear that? I don't want to hear that.
Something goes wrong, the cars are touching.
For you, buddy. I'm coming.
So we should probably call out a little bit about how this weird experiment is going to work tonight. The racers need to summit Mount Washington not once, but twice to clear the cold open race. Twindigo asks if you can even pass on this road, and I think that that's really more of a question of willpower than geometry. With that said, there are very few safe locations to pass on this road, which is why are we using the smallest car we can actually use here.
I mean, that was
no.
briefly a pass, and then
It's a thing that happens sometimes. The valley behind here is kind of looming in the rearview mirror. That's a little terrifying.
I'm right behind you now.
Oh, this is fun. Can't wait.
We've got Conan and Goals engaged in.
God, all right.
What was
okay.
that?
I believe
What's
that was
that, Conan?
a pit maneuver.
Legitimate. That was absolutely not legitimate.
Look at this sportsmanship. Look at the
Thank
sportsmanship.
you. How gentlemanly.
I will make the pass and I will make it legit. I was gonna say I was driving defensively.
I was driving defensively, but I don't think that was warranted.
Oh man, how do I pass on this road?
Very careful. No,
Not like Conan did.
I recommend accelerating directly into the back of your friend. Oh god.
I'm noticing there are no safety rails on this mountaintop road.
It's because this road is inherently safe.
Have some cones.
Some more wheel to wheel at the.
In the hair. Oh, that was so close.
If you never let out the clutch, you will never experience traction loss.
Real scary.
It was real scary, though. I'll tell you what.
Oh, you're lucky I couldn't find.
Oh, you're lucky I couldn't find.
Conan and
just
Goals
then.
get into the good section here.
Wait, we haven't been in the good
Wait, we
section all
haven't been
along?
in the good section all along.
Oh, Jesus.
Boy, I saw a lot of.
Oh, look at that.
We've hit the dirt section. Counter steer, counter steer.
Oh my God! Dirt track.
Conan using all of the steering wheel.
These are built for this.
These are built for this.
I mean, they're built for this in a sense. They've got 4 wheels and a motor.
Is third gear better?
Third gear.
Somehow I have dirt on my face.
Dirt on my
Shote hits the dirt.
Time to dig deep into that forward
Oh no.
Oh no!
No, oh no.
Oh, and it kills the video to prevent what might be a serious out-of-body experience. Conan probably wondering how he clears the crap off of his windshield at this, or rather his helmet, his visor.
Do you just wipe it with your glove? I mean, what's the protocol here?
You know, I'm not a professional race car driver. I don't have a good protocol for this.
Exceptionally great.
exceptionally great because I actually can't see where the center
What's up that? The road there?
What's up that with the road there? I don't know.
Oh
no.
Oh.
That was just amazing.
I really love how it cuts off the video before the scary shit happens and you start experiencing existential dread.
They say you cut the
They
course.
say you cut the course. Sir, can you get good, please?
You see me, buddy? I'm right back here.
That was an impressive makeup.
Yeah, I don't know how that worked.
Yeah, I don't know how that worked.
This is another really great section
Yeah,
where you can actually see the road ahead.
Right now, dead center for me.
On your right.
On your right.
I mean,
Oh, squeezing.
no.
Off the road.
These are not narrow cars.
Oh boy.
I mean, that's the
Oh,
thing.
boy.
They are
Okay,
narrow
here we go.
cars. Of the things that we could be hill climbing here,
Oh god, I just
Oh
remembered
God,
we
I
did this
just
twice.
remembered we could do
yes,
this
you
twice.
have to do this twice. This is a 2-summit exercise. But before you can summit twice, you must first summit once.
You must
I love
first
how
summit
different
once.
the view- I love how different the view is
I love
between
how
the
different the view is between side mirrors and rear view mirror.
Yeah.
Oh, that is some spicy.
Everything in your rear view looks like
It's like, all right, Oliver emerges from the mess. Space Puny's not far behind him.
Right, Conan.
On your right, Conan.
Oh, the dip!
Come back.
Come back.
They are going side by side on a section of track that really doesn't warrant it. I wonder if there's going to be like a left-hand hairpin coming up here. Oh, no, they're almost at the top. Almost at the top. Are we going to see a first summit?
Yeah, cheer for me. There's the
Yeah,
flag.
cheer for me. There's the flag.
I'm calling that the spot.
All right,
That's
that's a
the spot.
summit.
Summit.
Now you got to get out of the car and go do it again.
Hey.
How do I do this?
Okay, how do I
Hit
do this?
practice
Do I hit
again.
practice?
Thankfully, they do not need to drive back down.
Oh, no, they're wheel-to-wheel already.
I mean, I guess.
Conan had a slightly better shift into second on the way out there, but it wasn't enough.
Ooh.
I love these cars.
Is it safer to pass down here?
I don't have a good answer for that.
Careful there, buddy.
Careful there, buddy.
Oh no!
Every time I swap out to check on somebody else, things like that happen.
Hey, you guys on your
Yeah,
second
I'm
one
on the
already?
second
You
run.
can't
I'm
drive
on the
tree.
track.
Conan just drove off the track.
Oh no! I have to start at the bottom again.
Conan, is your wheel button not working?
The lower left button.
Yeah, the one that takes you in and out of the car.
You guys can hear it at least. Summit.
Ooh.
I mean, you can use the mouse if you want. Just want to make sure all the buttons are working.
Seconds really screwed me at the beginning.
Looks like we've got
That hit the summit.
2 impending summits.
Ted has summited. Blue flag has summited.
Some of our remotes have summited.
Ooh, I got clear road up here.
Ooh, I got clear road up here now.
It's in view. It's in view, Shote. This would be a good time to check your shift, though. There we go. Question is, did it cost you a space punies in your posterior? Looks like the answer is no.
And the guy with the flag.
That's a summit for Shote. Roll it back. Space Punies making good time. 67 miles an hour up through there.
Oh, I picked up a
Some
gold.
aggressive braking.
I picked up a friend.
I picked up a friend.
You guys save me a seat at the top.
Did you guys save me a
That's
seat
Summit,
at the
Brett?
top?
Yep, Summit.
Brett hit
Hell
the friend
yeah.
just now. Oh.
Oh.
And a summit for Space Punies.
Summit? That's
Roll it back.
Summit? That's Summit. Okay.
What do we got? What do we got?
Summit.
Summit.
I can bring
I'm gonna see if I can bring this cone
Why?
all the way to the summit.
Sir, that is not your cone.
I picked
I
it.
picked it up on the edge.
I picked it up. It's mine now.
Alright, I think I'm right behind you, Ted.
Maybe I can get another one.
What the fuck?
You're right behind me by a minute. Well, but,
Blake, he got a black
Oh,
flag
no, I
for
can't
it.
see anything.
I'm Ted Carter, not tonight.
Amazing.
They're one of the Tiger
Well, now Conan has to collect cones too. He can't have the fewest cones.
Do I get extra points for getting?
Do I get extra points for getting to the summit?
Yeah, we'll give you 3 cones.
Yeah, dude, I got 3 of them. Yeah, I know. You gotta get one more cone.
Wait, is Goals also out in front?
Derek has summited.
Boy, they really blocked the right side.
Excellent. So Goals is also out in front. If he doubles the summit and brings the cones home, maybe we just don't run the rest of the event tonight. Maybe it's all over.
It's one first place finish.
It's
per
one
cone.
first place finish per cone you bring to the top of Mount Washington.
Oh. Very exciting.
Oh dear.
Conan?
I think collecting trees is much more difficult.
Ridiculous.
That's ridiculous.
Wait, what? God.
My car is very unhappy.
I think they do actually slow you down.
Every time someone says the word cones now, I go check on Goals.
Okay, now they folded under.
See, mine are not gonna fold. Mine are very much still on the front of the car. I think I can take them all the way to the top.
When I picked
I'm
up
guessing
the
cone
cones,
physics were not a priority.
Coded, folks. Coded 3 cones. Goals 3 cones.
something to do. It's
pretty good.
While you wait for second gear.
Well, they're kind of crammed right in the craw of the suspension there, right? Like on the control arm. Yes, they probably should have rubbed off by now. However,
It makes visibility very
Oh
poor
god,
on
I
those
think I
left
broke my
turns.
train.
Oh, no.
I couldn't find it here.
Wheel in front of my car.
sir, is that your wheel?
Got that F pattern chip.
Oh no!
I lost my cones.
Goals has lost the cones.
My reset button is absolutely not working right
lost
now.
my
Okay.
but I
I lost my
regained
cones.
So, Conan, between segments, power off your wheel and power your wheel back on. You don't have to do it right now if you don't
So I
want
got
to.
one hanger on.
I am stuck on my own.
Okay.
On your own wheel.
I caught some.
Yeah, I caught some dirt and it just went flipping. I think if you hit the dirt section, they would just go flying.
Okay.
Can't reset without going back to the bottom. Is there a button for reset?
So there, yeah, hold escape.
But that takes you to the bottom, I believe. Yes.
Well, it depends on how far up you are.
Your view has gotten worse.
Okay, let me see here if I can just.
Back in the dirt section.
Back in the dirt section again.
Can I hit request new car?
Yeah, you can get it. Let me fix your steering wheel first. The button should work when it powers back up.
Oh, I got a huge knob of dirt.
I was
on
gonna
my
say, Goals
visor.
is now in the accumulate dirt on visor phase
Last
of the
time it
race.
was like dead.
Oh,
You
goodness.
couldn't see anything.
I think the trick to not.
I think the trick to not getting as much dirt on your visor is to only do like 60-70% throttle.
I literally mapped
going
the
on?
tear off button, but it doesn't work. I don't think they wear tear off in this
Have
series.
you been? That's unfortunate. What happened?
National Park, right?
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Back to the bottom.
Oh, then I hit the dirt and I took out my cone.
Really?
Oh, really? Oh, jealous.
End of the dirt.
I just hit the end
Goals
of the
exiting the dirt.
dirt. I'm coneless.
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 Coneless. And
No mate.
so the cool thing about the dirt, Mateo, is that it's like adding an entire second of latency to your steering inputs.
God, it makes like a really sound when the dirt hits your visor.
Yeah.
Also, helmet poop.
Yeah, it is a very gross noise.
Yeah, sadly I lost my reset button.
lost my reset button, so it was not possible for me to
start from the bottom
reset
again.
and to start from the bottom again.
Oh, that's
Ah, it worked.
Ah, it worked.
I didn't even know there was a reset button. I
Well, that's a.
Did you just drive out?
You may
I try the steering wheel button again.
He is
That's not the one.
on the mountain, but too much on the mountain.
I just went off
Definitely
and
makes
just
a
got
difference.
reset back to like
There we go.
checkpoint.
Oh, you like went off?
Oh yeah.
You went for the moon?
Space Punies in the dirt, but I don't think it's going to be enough to catch Goals, who is getting into summit territory.
Mm-hmm.
I just needed the motivation.
I just needed the motivation of goals there to
Stay on target.
stay on
Try
target.
to go fast and end up
Try to-
just
That's right.
sending yourself into
That's
the void.
right.
Well, I've got good news. You've got 2 feature races to take it back out on him.
Hey, I had nothing to do with his
Hey,
crash
I had nothing
there.
to do with his crash there.
Besides, putting on the
Besides, putting on the mental effort. Conan just couldn't hang.
Got pressure.
Got the pressure. That's right. I just applied some pressure and waited for him to make a mistake.
Despite his anime hair, his power level's not actually over.
Accumulating your own helmet dirt.
Space Punies exits the dirt,
I'm gonna put this into 4th gear.
but Goals can see the visitor center.
View is very nice from up
View is
here.
very nice.
You can
from
actually
up here.
continue on the track around by the visitor center if you'd like to park.
And that is Summit.
And that's
That's
Summit.
2 summits. Goals is the winner of the cold open race, which counts for
I still have a cone.
exactly nothing.
I'm driving ahead.
I'm driving ahead to the parking lot at the top. I'll meet you there.
Bring your cone up.
Bring your cone up.
I'll meet you at the top of the mountain. Bring your cone.
Well labeled parking.
Damn,
Victory
I'm
10.
gonna Go all the way into the canyon and got reset again. What the hell?
That's it. Goals. You can retire victorious to the green room.
Clean off your helmet. The whole thing.
Donuts, donuts, donuts. In a future episode of Tonight We Race, we will do the descent portion of this as a cold open.
Oh, goodness.
I've done this hill climb now in 3 different classes of vehicles, and this is absolutely not the fastest, but I think it is the most fun. Not 100% certain what Goals is doing here.
Just nailed the second Summit. Ted, keep driving up to the parking lot.
Ted, keep driving.
Well
up to the
done,
parking
Ted.
lot.
One of our remote drivers has hit his 2nd summit. Congratulations. You also win nothing.
Thank you. You brought my cone.
That was the one you dropped. All the other ones fell off. But the one you dropped came from.
Space Punies getting close.
One cone stays true to the Carter brothers.
Feel good about that.
Goals, have yourself a cold drink in the green room.
This is what victory looks like. Leaving while we're still having fun.
All right.
That's second Summit.
That's second.
That's the 2nd summit for Space Punies. Congratulations. You also win nothing.
I gotta get to the parking lot.
I gotta get to the parking lot though.
Yes, please park within the lines. I've actually gone off on that corner. This is great. What else is up here? Oh, God! Very nice. Very nice. This is some very conscientious race car drivers here.
Want to see a magic trick?
7M2.
Beautiful. Shote is rapidly approaching the same location.
That's the visitor center.
I want to go back to the lobby.
Summit?
And it's a summit for Shote. All right.
Don't crash. Yes. The trick is don't crash on either of them, actually.
Which leaves us with Conan Two Phones.
Now entering the dirt. Perfect. We'll leave it there.
A little bit of that counter steer. What I like about Conan is he didn't say to himself, well, I'm last, so there's no point in finishing this.
No, by God, we will carry through.
He is still crawling up this hill at 50 miles an hour.
You really call it crawling if it's 50 miles an hour?
It's a fast crawl.
Be careful with your banter. I don't want you to start over again.
Everybody suffers then. I keep seeing hints of gravel as if I get to see. There it is.
Out of the dirt and onto the tarmac.
Derek has just summited.
Congratulations, Derek. You have summited. You win nothing. We have bits and we have bits and pieces of Conan's Assetto Corsa Racing League that are here remotely tonight, providing additional what do I say here? Mass on the track, targets for overtake, bad collision opportunities.
Good collision opportunities as well.
This actually
Donuts.
brings up an important production point. We should have a camera deck so that we can do driver in the top left, me in the bottom right, so it's more like a dialogue. Season 2 things, just Season 2 things. Conan trying very hard to figure out which gear is the correct gear here, and when you're up an 18% grade, there just really isn't one. Looks like all the rest of our pods have been pulled back out. Excellent. Trap, technically, God, what's wrong with my brain today? The Feature Race 1 should actually be joinable at this point. So yeah, just bring him right there. That's the perfect screen.
People are going to need to pick their cars, though.
Yeah, exactly. We're getting him to the car select screen. Trap is graciously doubling as production assistant tonight.
And we're summiting. Where's Derek?
All right, Conan.
We're summiting. Where's Derek?
That's everybody. Oh, that's not where they went. All right. Congratulations, Conan. Let's bring it back to the clean desk. And I think we have a script here somewhere. Doot. We did all that stuff.
I took a right and then just entered the infield.
Which brings us here. Welcome to Tonight We Race, Seattle's secret underground racing laboratory.
Secret because none of our mothers know where we are tonight.
Underground because we're too cool for AM radio.
And the racing bit should be self-explanatory.
Lab because here on Tonight We Race, we want to expose you to some of the aspects of simulation you may not have convenient access to, not all of which necessarily involve racing. That certainly wasn't racing. Stick around, maybe you'll see something slick. I am joined tonight by my co-host, It's a Trap from the Tuesday Racing crew.
Indeed, yes. I'm taking a break from the driving. My arm is still a little sore from yesterday. These cars are quite the workout.
I believe, Trap, you play on 10 Newton meters of force, correct?
Correct, yes.
Which is, if you are not used to steering wheels without power steering, is a lot of force for a long period of time. So before we move on, let's talk about what we just saw there. I should be doing this with my left hand because we've all done this before. There it goes.
Ah, look at that.
So let's talk about what we just saw. That was the venerable Formula V, our favorite teaching platform, attempting to climb Mount Washington. The V is nothing more or less than the guts of a 63 VW Beetle, transplanted into a steel space frame and given some fun tires and a nice suspension to work with. No aerodynamics, no fancy traction control, and not even anti-lock brakes to work with. The V is the racing equivalent of wearing those rubber toe shoe things. You feel it. You feel everything. Our SimPod transmission hardware was selected to make the V feel amazing, making the 4-speed H-gate manual transmission clack and ping.
And it does. The track for the cold open was the infamous Mount Washington Hill Climb, one of America's oldest road races, reaching an altitude of almost 6,300 feet. The Mount Washington Auto Road is 7.5 miles of twists, bends, and more than a little dirt. Americans started driving it for fun almost as soon as the road completed in 1861, and the first official hill climb race was hosted in 1904. As far as we can tell, the event hasn't been run since 2021, which means you are watching something you can't see on ESPN, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I believe Subaru has the rights to it or something, and I don't know if they're just they've decided not to do it or it's no longer economically viable. I think there was a pandemic that happened in there somewhere, which is probably problematic. So let's move on to the news. I hate that I say that like Clarkson. That is so iconic. So, where are we? Yeah, here we are.
Oh yeah, so we're 8 days away from the Seattle International Auto Show. Did you know that was a thing?
I did not, and that's somewhat embarrassing because I've lived in Seattle on and off since 2007. So what's even the story with this thing?
Yeah, good question. As they don't publish their own history, we put AI on it, and best we can tell, it was the outgrowth of the 2000 Emerald City show-off.
Never heard of it?
I guess it was a grassroots effort driven by car enthusiasts. We think it's been running in its current format since 2010. I don't know. I've never been. I'm not feeling like much of a car enthusiast at the moment.
So likewise, but let's make lemonade out of this and prototype a new segment out of what they're calling their must-see show cars that we're going to call Rent, Buy, Recycle. You have only 3 choices. You can have that car for a day. You can own that car forever, but you have to maintain it if you do. Or you can send it to the crusher in a vain attempt to get the automaker to do something better. Are you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
None of those are mapped here.
The Audi RS7 trap. Rent, buy, or recycle.
Huh.
You're remote.
I'd probably rent it.
All right. That is, of course, Audi's top end of the 7 line. I don't know what it's packing right now, but it's probably somewhere in the neighborhood of a 500 horsepower twin turbo V8, like literally everything else on the market these days. The Honda Accord Hybrid EXL, I'm going to say buy because it's a Honda and it's an Accord and it is a hybrid. And that thing's going to last forever. I feel no problem having to do an infinite time worth of maintenance on this car.
Makes sense.
Trap the Bentley Bentayga.
Bentley Bentayga. I know nothing about this car.
Neither do I.
Great. Yeah, sure. Let's rent it. Let's drive it around for a bit. See what is under that hood.
It's a rent for the Bentayga. I get the Chevy Corvette E-Ray 3LZ Coupe, which, frankly, so I'm gonna say rent, but my heart says recycle because I think we all know in all of our hearts that the C8 Vet is not a Corvette, and everybody can have that opinion. The BMW iX M60 trap.
What can you tell me about this?
It's wearing the M branding, and so in theory it has some sort of motorsport bent to it. But it looks like it's got the new BMW vertical grills. Since it's an I, it is probably at some level electrified. I think it's ugly. It's in personally, but I'm not the one making the decision on this one.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this is a little bit of a stretch, but maybe go with buy on this one.
Really?
I mean, you'd have to figure out where to keep it, and you'd have to maintain it, but you could drive it.
We have different tastes. The GMC Hummer EV, recycle. Moving
Yes.
on. Trap.
Oh,
McLaren
no, yeah,
720S.
I mean, cannot actually maintain this thing. Feels like it'd be fun to drive, at least for a little bit. Let's go with rent.
Absolutely rent. We've got a slide overload error here that explains where the other one went to. The Toyota Tundra 4x4 Limited 5.5. I'm going to say buy. because Toyota makes exceptional trucks. And though this one has a grille that fits over a small child,
Yes.
I have no doubt that this would be an easy to maintain vehicle over an infinite period of time span. So I'm going to go with buy on that one.
Okay.
Final car, the VW ID Buzz.
What is this thing?
I believe it is an electric bus, an electric microbus.
Electric microbus.
Pick my cars
They make these?
on this haptic sim.
Well, you need to go to the Seattle International Auto Show, and
Apparently.
you tell me.
I don't know, man. I might just recycle this thing.
Wow. Well, I mean, then you get the lithium back, so I guess
Right.
that's good. All right. Thank you for helping us test a new section here. Let's talk about the schedule. So it's Wednesday. Wednesday night, we are here with the Wednesday crew. Obviously, you just saw Formula V's on Mount Washington. The Wednesday crew is racing GT4s for their entire race series, and so there's not going to be any it's different cars. It's going to be more difficult for us. This is a somewhat competitive group, and so this is where we've centered. They're going to hit Scuba tonight on the full course, and also Charlotte on the Roval, which we will talk about in a bit. Our drivers for the night. I'm sorry, this is yours.
Let's introduce our drivers. These are presented in screen orientation, by the way. So pod 1 in the bottom left, that will be Shows. Graciously providing a service due to a last-minute driver cancellation.
In the top left in pod 2, making double heading both Tuesday and Wednesday crews, it's Space Punies. He is known for making a mean drink and the man with the soul of Bjork and the aesthetics of Korn. And no, I did not write this patter.
In the top right, it's pod 3. It's Goals, presented here on the back of his racing horse.
And finally, in the bottom right in pod 4 is Conan, master cyclomancer, mechanic savant, and hair product enthusiast. This might be a good time to say how the Tuesday crew is going to be scored.
Wednesday crew?
Oh, excuse me, the Wednesday crew is going to be scored. That is a script error. Since we have 7 assigned drivers for the Tuesday segment, 4 of them are local here in the pods, obviously, and 3 remotes, we will be using a 10-point scoring system as per this slide. And then, of course, our challenges will allocate a maximum of 1 bonus point to the drivers over the course of an evening. Obviously, we've got a big spreadsheet to keep track of all this stuff. All you really need to know is the number. And when the Wednesday crew has actually put together a real race, this slide will actually say something useful. So that's enough prep for tonight. Let's actually get going here and get everybody set up for the feature race. I believe inexplicably, all 4 drivers are already in their pods and running the practice session. So I think we're good to go here. Shote, I believe you have administrator here. Would you like to pit in and advance to the qualifier, please? Feature race number 1 on Saturday, that did not work, so I'm glad that okay, great, everything worked correctly.
Just gotta schedule the key.
Yeah, I just got in.
I'm not in yet.
So we're going to do the intro while they begin their qualifying lap here. Let's bring it back out to this. So we said GT4 class. In iRacing, the GT4 class consists of the BMW M4 GT4, the Aston Martin Vantage GT4, the Porsche 718 Cayman GT4, the Mercedes-AMG GT4, and the McLaren 570, which is a GT4ified version of their smallest supercar. GT4 is it's a homologated class. It basically means not as fast as GT3, which is kind of the larger, more popular race class, and obviously something that most sim games or iRacing have a lot of experience with. The difference between the cars is effectively they have less power and they have less aero, and so they cannot be thrown as wantonly into corners, and they cannot power back out of them with the same violence as a GT3. You could say that it's a feeder class in the GT3, but I don't think people really see it that way. So GT4, and importantly, the car selection that each of our drivers makes tonight is their car for the rest of the series. So, like if the BMW is picked, they're going to have the BMW the entire time.
All right, so let's talk about the track for a minute here. Tonight we will be racing on Tsukuba Full. Scuba Full. You might recognize it from the pilot on Saturday, but this version is in fact the full 2 kilometers in length with a real straight that will stretch out the GT4s a little. The track, however, does remain narrow, and overtaking in a full GT4 should be exciting, or challenging, or dangerous. You pick. Damage, hopefully, is turned off.
So with that said, let's check in on our pod quad. I believe that they have already advanced into qualifier with 8 minutes left on the clock. This is an open qualifier, and so it's our four local pod racers, hate that phrase, as well as our 3 remotes, and we have thoughtfully added, what have we thoughtfully added? We've thoughtfully added 4 AIs to keep the pace a little bit spicy here. It's 2 kilometers of scuba, so that's still a lot of track, but all right, let's go drama hunting. Oh, look, it's Conan.
Look at that.
Fucking AI came out of the pits and hit me. My first flying lap.
God.
It's a really great question, Rella, and I didn't watch the select screen, and so I'm gonna have to try and make this decision based on what I can see from the car interior and steering wheels. I can tell you that Conan is in a something sideways. Let's start at pod 1. What do we think this is?
I don't know. Let's see.
There doesn't seem to be any branding anywhere. The clue is that it's got a fabric dashboard. That's the clue.
That is the clue.
I kind of feel like maybe that's the Cayman. Let's look around here. It's a Fanatec wheel. That's great. Hey, Space Punies, what are you driving? He doesn't know. Scott, God, no one knows.
The M4.
They are GT4s.
They are the GT4s. Well, they're all GT4s.
They're all GT4s.
They're all GT4s, Brent. That looks like the AMG. Goals, are you in the AMG?
I sure am.
I sure am. I'm driving the AMG tonight.
And Conan, what have you swapped into? Also in the AMG.
Ah.
The AMG, according to Coach Dave on the internet, is in fact the high meta car in the iRacing GT4 class in the current build set. So Conan and Goals have decided that they're putting it all out on the table here. There's at least one Cayman out there. I saw the green, the lime green Danger camouflage Cayman out there. I believe that's the rear end of an Aston, but don't quote me. It's like Goals is right on top of an AMG. There we go. So that's Goals right on Conan's butt here, maintaining a separation of about 0.7 of a second. Obviously, the relative chart here, not fantastically useful because they're trying to set qualifying times, not really actually fighting for position, so to speak.
Our juniors in here.
They have a buzz, buzz, buzz.
Conan.
Going as fast as I can.
Hello, Alami Posio. I hope I'm saying that correct. Also, hello. You're more than welcome to join the Discord. That's what the Discord is there for. You're also welcome to compliment Conan on his hair.
What? That was an invalid lap? Unacceptable.
Let's check in on some lap times here. We've got about 4:30 left on the clock, which realistically means about 3 more laps, maybe 4. Conan is sitting on a 1 minute flat. Goals does not have his display up, but we will know shortly.
He had a best lap time there.
He's moving it for us. What a hero! What a trooper! Thank you, Goals. He's in the 4th position, clocking in with a 59.7. Space Punies is in the 7th position with a minute flat 7. And Shote in position 10 with a 1:04. So we've got some spread here. I think importantly, Conan just set a 59.2, and that isn't actually the hot lap. So there is an open question about where the hot lap has been set. I guess we'll find out in between the gridding section here. I'm guessing it's one of our remote drivers. Hold on. I have something for this.
Oh.
Hey, which of you clowns set the hot lap? It's the one that's faster than 597. Was that the good doctor? Was that Dr. Gould? Oh, what a night.
Sorry, what was his time?
Under 59.7.
59 flat.
Oh, I'm seeing a 59.2 out there.
Oh.
Look at that. And still not the fastest lap.
We go a 58.7.
We go a 58.7.
I just heard a 58.7. Did that come from over here? Oh!
Look at that.
The pole position is now goals with the gloves.
Looks like we've got just about 2 minutes left. Time to get in one more good lap.
Just about 2 minutes left. I am going to leave you here with goals for a second because I can hear the green room projector through the door. And I'm going to turn that down here.
Ben, are you in that orange and purple AMG?
I sure am. Turned in too early here.
And clocking another lap time here.
58.7. This is by far the most complicated audiovisual environment I have ever worked or produced in, and so every so often something pisses me off and I have to go find it and fix it.
Which you can do.
Which
It's
that's
great.
that's the beauty of producing a show. Goals still out front in first.
You can buy one of these for as low as like
Not really seeing the
great.
dominance out of Space Punies tonight that we saw in his Tuesday crew debut. Is it the track? Is it the car? Or is it Goals and Conan being clowns?
Maybe he's waiting for the actual race.
I personally like gridding in the back because I need to witness the opening turn drama up front. However, we're doing a rolling start on Scuba for the actual race, so there shouldn't be as much drama.
Easy to drive back in
So it looks
Mason's
like 30
days.
seconds on the
dude,
clock.
these AI just coming out of the
Show trading a little bit of paint there
I think it just has to do with this track.
and pulling out because we are about to grid in.
just absolutely cut my nose off.
A little bit of minor pod surgery there.
It's been so long since I raced with you. I'm glad we're good at this.
I don't know how to feel about that.
I was like, sweet, Derek's here. Oh no, Derek's here.
He's likely to lose to you.
I'm supposed to be here to
And that is going to be it for the qualifiers. Let's see how they ran up. Let's Space Punies can give me a results screen if you don't mind. That is definitely goals. In tonight we raced Pod 3 in the pole position. We've got Dr. Gould in the number 2, Conan in number 3, Dean Marsh the AI in car 300 in the 4th spot there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What do you do? Brett pulled in a one.
Brett pulled in a
We've got a spread here from about high 58 to low 103. That should lead to a whole bunch of interesting interaction on the track. In particular, those tight, like we've got for the top four drivers here, we have less than half a second. It's gonna be
It'll be
fun.
interesting. See what all happens when they start in the same place.
Last race.
Well, it's
it's a
a
rolling
rolling
start.
start, so
Very long.
somewhat in the same place. And remember, you can be black flagged on the rolling start.
Yes, you can.
Oh yeah. Rolling start. Rolling start.
They are serious about maintaining your position.
You can all hit your grid
Rolling
buttons.
start, and you will get back black flag.
Who has the best view of the house? I think Shote has the best view of the house. We are going to watch Shote. That's a pretty good paint job on the Aston, if I'm being honest.
I don't know black flag works.
You don't know what the black flag means. It can't hurt
Black
you.
flag means it can't hurt you.
If only.
That flag can't be for me. I'm colorblind.
Behind the pace car. The pace car is doing the job. I don't know if I was supposed to be the person in front or behind.
Catch the one car.
They give you instructions, theoretically.
Pace car buys.
There is an angry man. Oh, that's it.
Oh,
that's
that was the rolling
that's the
start.
rolling start. Not a parade lap to be seen.
I got a black flag. Because the pace car pulled into the
Because the
pits.
pace car pulled into the pits, and it was like, "Don't go in the pits."
Oh dear, a
Oh,
green
no.
a green and black combo. I feel like this might be a mixed message from race control here.
No, I was on the track like I was supposed to be. Oh, did you get flag too, Derek?
Sorry.
Sounds like a number of our remote racers have also experienced a little bit of race control drama.
Derek, no! There you
Oh.
go. There you go. Straighten back up.
Something happening.
Ooh. These are not cheap toys to put into each other or a wall, the GT4s.
And this is not a wide track.
There's not that little indicator. So
The Cayman GT4 in particular is a cup racer, which means it is made in sufficient quantity for factory teams and pirate teams and or excuse me, privateer teams and just random racers to pick up, which means we should be able to find a manufacturer suggested retail price if we use the internet, which I am now going to do.
Do they ever show up on Bring a Trailer?
I think so. Yeah, hold for 20 seconds. Right through.
Yeah, well, so I haven't seen a GT4 on Bring a Trailer.
Yeah, also, like,
I
it
have,
doesn't
however,
matter
seen
for the purposes of this
a $1.2 million 935 go on Bring a Trailer.
On the gas a little quicker.
Got on the gas a little quicker than me there, Conan.
GT4 MSRP Cup.
Working the limits.
Yeah, work those limits right into the hay bales.
So a regular non-race prepped Cayman GT4 RS starts at $164,000.
But they are available.
Well, so that's
Yeah,
that's
that-
the,
that's just the road
That's
version.
the
Yes.
it's just the car that you buy and commute to coffee with. The Cup version, Club Sports. Here we go. A used one, a 5-year-old used one, $159,000. A new one, $279,900. So that is a $280,000 track toy. Space Pony's getting friendly with the Beamer.
Ooh, real fast and
Real fast and
I made it work.
Space Pony's in traffic.
Closed up like 2 lengths on you.
Yeah, that was a good run in there.
Holding up very nicely.
Looks like Goals and Conan are jockeying for position here.
Does seem that way. Uh-oh. Goals, how'd you pick up another black flag?
Is that another black flag?
This is the same one.
This is the same one from race start.
So they want you to hold in the pits for 26.
Which I am not going to do.
which I am not going to do.
That's going to affect your time, I think.
That's okay.
That's okay.
For the purposes of tonight.
For the purposes of tonight, I guess I'll just enjoy the racing.
Do the standings kind of adjust themselves for that?
Well, I don't think we actually attempted to put into the rule set what happens if our drivers ignore race control. Are they automatically disqualified at standings time? Does iRacing software actually prevent them from finishing? I don't know.
I do not know. I guess we'll find out.
Guess we'll find out. We'll see what the software enforces, and then I will decide what to do from there. What is the?
That's a
That's the disqualification.
That's the
That's a
flag.
deke for not serving your penalty. That unfortunately is a
so
disqualification.
that is race control saying, listen to that black flag.
Stop by the Dairy Queen, get some cones.
Oh, they kicked me out.
They kicked me out.
Or Mount
Oh,
Washington.
wow.
iRacing has ended your short feature race 1 career for ignoring a black flag.
Someone kicked me out.
You cannot even get your practice in the car. You are.
Goddamn bugs, whacked
Goddamn
out.
bugs, whacked
I was
out.
gonna say, did you get deleted? Because you're not behind me anymore.
Yeah.
But the car is still circling the track.
Well, I think that
Oh,
was
is
a
that just the
replay. I'm
replay?
not 100% certain.
Because I didn't pass the pace car. I went into the pits.
I hope the car's now off the track.
I think the problem with this is the
You may have jumped the
Yeah,
start.
like it really doesn't like if you are past the car that you're supposed to be behind, and it's almost impossible to tell which one you're supposed to be in. Like,
Yeah,
In that
that's
case, I
dumb.
was the pace car, but they were off the side of the screen, so I couldn't see them. And with Gould passing me, I thought I needed to be ahead of him since I qualified first.
oh, I see. So what happens if Ben?
So what happened is Ben passed the pace car.
You also passed
You
Ben.
also passed Ben.
Two of you got into
So
it.
two of you got into an exhibition speed, and then
Yeah, when I saw Derek go by on my left, and I was like, well, I'm in first, so I need to be ahead of him. So I accelerated past the pace car, and then they just wiped us both.
And do I understand that basically it's the car behind that's responsible for maintaining their position?
Everybody is responsible for maintaining their position within the pack, but if you start leaving gap in front of you, that is a less race control is going to get on you less than if you are starting to nudge ahead of the position that you're supposed to be holding. It's kind of like a big accordion. It's okay if the accordion gets a little bit longer, but you can't smush the accordion through itself. Yeah, that is a undramatic and unfortunate end to Goal's first feature race here. On the other hand,
Yeah.
it sets up quite the dramatic comeback
Oh,
story.
it does.
Great racing, too.
It was great racing too.
I was having a good time. Carl and I were having a blast.
Carl and I were having a blast up there.
yeah, if you're in first, it's normally not your first time doing it.
I was closing on it.
Putting on the pressure. Now I can just maintain space and send it.
What Conan is saying here in the back is that he is so comfortable with goals out of contention now that he can afford to slack off. That is what is coming from behind me in the studio here.
Big on disrespect in this crew.
12 minutes remaining in the race. Checking in on Shote.
Doing a great job of not being disqualified.
Yeah. Straight fire from the co-host. And I hope you didn't park anywhere near each other. All right, let's take a look at the positions here. It looks like Shote is in 9th, which is advanced 2. I think we know why one of them. From the original position setting, we've got Space Punies in 5th. We've got Conan in pole right now, and looks like the separation is about 6 seconds from Ted behind him. And so while this race is absolutely not over, 6 seconds on a 1 minute course is kind of a big gap.
Having a 1 minute course does make the timekeeping just that much easier.
Yeah, Goals, I feel for you. Hold on, I'm going to address you while I'm looking at your dead screen. Goals, I feel for you, but now we know the answer to the what happens if we ignore race control question. You've done your job for science.
They also work, which is like a rare experience for me in iRacing, having only really been driving like crappy cars or like 60 style open wheelers. You're like, oh man, you ask the car to do something.
Oh yeah. Hovering over Conan is definitely not going to impact his driving.
Ben is still right behind me.
It's
still right behind
simulating
me.
if I were actually right behind you.
He done been sent.
The curse of the host attention.
It's all quantum, right? Like don't observe the system or you change the system.
Isn't he a ghost or?
No, he's physically standing behind me.
Oh, he's gone now. No, you're. Oh no, he's back.
No, he's got
No, do please either be in the green room or in your seat. Let us not interfere with what if.
Yeah, sorry, I was trying to intrude.
All good, all good. So we got a 58.7 out of Conan right now as his best lap, which is about a second faster than his qualifier. Means the drivers are slowly dialing themselves in here. Space Punies is our other contender of the locals here.
I got a real negative pit crew.
He's got 3 seconds, now 5 seconds on the car in front of him, but that's striking distance.
Pod 4's Conan.
Pod 4's Conan.
How the pod for his race?
Oh, I can actually watch
Shote catching a little bit of blue flag and a little bit of, I don't even know, are those jersey bearers? No, those are, they're
know.
like
Hay bales with
hay bales and canvas.
Yeah.
Feels soft. A black flag for reversing too far on the course. That's a new one. We did not know that existed.
Yeah, that's the plan.
It's a huge
Conan maintaining 3.4 seconds on Ted behind him.
No, he didn't.
Ted is blue flag, right?
He got pulled off him. He did.
Yeah, I just figured they would like.
Not easy to push the box, buddy.
Not like. Well, I just figured they would like know.
Well, I just figured they would like nullify my result. But
Yeah, I thought so too. I guess they're serious in this iRacing.
Racing is very hardcore about this.
That makes sense, I guess.
that makes sense, I guess.
Honest mistake on the first.
Honest mistake on the first rolling start we've ever done.
Yeah.
So this isn't the hardcore. Hardcore would be Conan filing a protest against you after the race is over. As Goals was saying behind us, iRacing takes their rules following and sportsmanship very, very seriously. There's a massive driver code of conduct that you need to agree to before you can even have an account. And there is unlike other video games with a report cheaters button or a report conduct button, the iRacing complaint button is like a formal motorsport complaint, and they adjudicate each one of them individually. And punishments can range all the way from just literally having your account terminated to someone on the iRacing staff takes you aside and email and says, "Hey, buddy, what's going on with you?"
Wow.
They take this very seriously. Because we are what would otherwise be referred to as commercial or trade show accounts here. Hopefully, if someone files a complaint against a pod, there's there's no record because these accounts don't participate in public races. But two, I'm hoping the large wheelbarrow of money that we carted over to their headquarters is sufficient insulation for the occasional mishap here. Oh, Goals is playing in stuff I don't understand. Did you find a race radar?
Yeah,
It's the weather.
Oh, look at that.
Ah.
Well, now you know the cloud cover over. It is mostly cloudy. Conan still maintaining 3.5 seconds on Ted with 6 minutes of remaining. I think I think he's starting to feel the pressure.
Why would you say that?
Commenter's curse.
Space Punies maintaining 5th place, about 5 seconds on either end of him. And Shote about a lap behind, holding 9th, with the Pod 3, the car behind him. Gotta stop calling people's names. It just kills them. The individual that I'm looking at right now is doing great. Good job, individual. Way to take the action you just took.
Oh, the TC's mapped the other direction in this car.
Whoops.
You find yourself just like you
Find yourself just like on the TC node.
Oh, the turning node. I was going up and up.
Hearing
and
lots
this
of
is
clicking. These are paddle shifters.
Yeah, these are sequentials. I mean, they have, because they are accurately represent the GT4 cars, and not every GT4 car has the same transmission, it's actually going to be whatever is in the manufacturer, which means that the 718 Cayman is running a Porsche double Kupplungsgetriebe. God, no, I didn't get the first try. One more try. Porsche double Kupplungsgetriebe. Fuck. Porsche double Kupplungsgetriebe.
Probably just funky,
Speak German too.
iRacing button.
Which is a dual clutch manual. The rest of them are running obviously whatever they are running, which is also probably some sort of dual clutch automated manual.
and crash goes on.
Notably, they are not H-gate shifters. Is Mateo still here? It feels like the sort of thing he'd clip, and I'm hoping he didn't.
Lisa is front Ted.
The gap behind person I'm talking about is now smaller or larger than the last time we talked about it.
Fantastic.
Events have occurred.
Racing is happening.
Ted catching up to Conan. He's probably feeling it.
Got some pressure on.
But importantly, not showing up in the rearview mirror, so maybe it's not all that much pressure. Good catch. How do I get a 50-foot Dunlop donut in my backyard? How do I get a 50-foot backyard? Smooth turn-in from Shote. Very nice. Just under 3 minutes remain. Conan appears to be defending his position.
Hope you're liking that second place.
We all know Ted loves the silver medal.
E-Group Hero.
E-Group Hero.
The pod racers are now smack talking their remote counterparts.
I usually joke right at the end, so.
Pretty typical.
We still
Which is
talking
very
about
pro
racing?
charter for us. It's fine.
Yeah. Racing, not racing, you know.
2 minutes remaining, and the TED gap that we now call it is at 3.2.
That AI is next one.
Bot turning up the heat in third place.
Yeah, that mod is putting pressure on.
Oh, she's next to you.
Oh, she's next to you.
It had like a 6-second gap, and it's just been putting in like fantastic laps all of a sudden.
Yeah, did a 58.4, which is on it.
Conan about to roll into traffic, but with a minute remaining here, it's probably not going to be relevant. He's got the space to get 2 more laps in,
That is the current fastest.
and
lap
this one
race.
counts.
Is that bot that's behind you?
No pressure or
58,
anything.
542.
They want it.
Third place is a very good position.
Can't get past you.
She can't get past yet.
We also don't score AI.
We also
so,
don't
you
score
know.
AI, so you know.
You can kind of
Space Punies maintaining 5 and 6 seconds on either side. The accordion has kind of let itself out here. I think he's locked in for where he is. Same with Shote. Plenty of gap on either side. It's basically all about Conan not fucking up in 30 seconds.
There's like a tip in my
Little loose on that exit,
Like
but keeps
right
it
in the
locked
driving
down.
line.
Still, car still pointing the right way.
Yeah.
All they count. We are told the white flag is nice and smooth. Last lap for Conan. Last lap for Space Punies. Very nice line from Shote. Will there be any last second drama? Sure doesn't look like it. What I'm hearing, Trap, is that they want more AIs.
I mean,
It's a contentious subject.
Oh, that is a ballsy. That is
Good
a
job, Conan.
ballsy. It was a ballsy re-entry. Thank you.
we've talked about the number of AIs on the track.
Kept hoping
We have, and we are running 4 AIs at the request of the Wednesday night crew. This is what they would prefer, so we will honor that. And that's the race. Conan in first, and we are waiting for Space Punies and Shote to bring it on home. If I could get... perfect. That is exactly the screen I was looking for, although I'm actually going to get it out of Pod 1 because my face is blocking your screen, and if I change the camera, your face is blocking your screen. So we'll wait for Shote to finish up here. I guess I can get out of Pod 2, actually.
Yeah, it's very familiar.
Yeah, like wait, these cars are.
Yeah, like wait, these cars are quite enjoyable to drive, which is nice.
I hear that the gentlemen behind me here have developed opinions on their cars. We will hit them with that in just a second here. Space Punies, when you've pitted in, go ahead and give me a results screen.
Yeah. Good time.
Oh man,
Oh man,
Space Punies gets a rear
Space
view
Punies
camera.
gets a rear
What is
view
this?
camera. What is this?
Car choices.
Car choices matter, man.
Mercedes doesn't have these
Mercedes
kinds of
doesn't have
features.
these kinds of features.
Stuck in the Stone Age with a
Stuck in
giant
the
V8.
Stone Age.
That's an unnecessary luxury in a race car.
The E-Class comes with the rear view.
All right, so we have formally the order here. Pod 4 with Conan,
Wow, Conan.
Ted Carter in second, AI, Pod 2, Space Punies, Brett Remote,
15 laps to get.
AI, Shote in Pod 1. How did it come to pass that goals in Pod 3 is DQ'd in front of Dr. Gould. What's the
Dr. Gould was also DQ'd at the same time.
also DQ'd at the same time? That's super unfortunate. All right, we've got the results. Thank you, everyone. Excellent race. You put the first points on the board for Wednesday, which we will talk about at a slightly later time. Y'all can head to the green room, and we will move on with the next segment.
In a little bit at the minute.
Speaking of which,
With
with our racers safely heading back to the green room, it is time for my favorite segment, the Bring a Trailer Challenge. And as I mentioned on Tuesday for the production races, we're actually doing this a little bit differently. We're not actually going to be quizzing the code host. We are going to be quizzing the individual drivers for their bonus challenge point
Yes.
for the night. And if you were not here for Tuesday, I should also mention we changed the rules slightly. We are now only running closed auctions that closed within the last 24 hours, and that's for two reasons. One, it makes my bookkeeping much easier versus trying to figure out what timestamp I was using. It also prevents Conan from running out and buying any of the motorcycles that we've put up because they've already been sold. Also, we were making sure that every auction had at least 5 bids, so it wasn't some like weird sort of outlier before it came in. So these are all recently past tense auctions, not present tense. I'm going to ask Trap to give up a seat.
Absolutely.
And we are going to advance to the deck, and we are going to do the Bring a Trailer Challenge. And this time we've got sight screen slides so that we don't give anything away. I need goals. Pull up a chair.
Howdy, howdy.
I was going to ask you how you felt about your car, but I don't feel like you spent a whole lot of time in it.
Well, you know, I was lucky to have some practice time before the feature race. The AMG is great. It's really predictable, and when it starts to slide, it's telling you before it gets too out of hand.
So you're happy with your choice?
Very happy with the AMG.
All
It's
right.
a great GT4.
I think you can pull it back out.
I think so. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. It'll be.
Don't tell them.
We'll see what I think. The remote guys are really fast, and I know Conan can put down a serious lap.
You ready for your challenge?
Let's go.
Your Bring a Trailer Challenge is either the 2012 Toyota FJ Cruiser or the legendary 95 Volvo 850 T5R wagon, home of the 5-cylinder engine. For those of you not familiar with the FJ Cruiser, it's what Toyota did in the years where they did not have a Land Cruiser. The Land Cruiser, by the way, is back now, and it's now a 2-row SUV, not a 3-row SUV, and it's super sweet.
It is very sweet.
Notables from these guys, they both have about 50 and 90,000 miles on them, respectively. The FJ Cruiser has all the crap that you'd expect. It's got the dual-range transfer case, locking rear diff, silver fresco metallic over dark charcoal cloth. 4-liter V6, 260 horsepower, 271 foot-pounds. It is had a bunch of maintenance in 23 to replace the alternator, the drive belt, the idler pulley, and the battery. The Volvo was ordered with European delivery in Germany.
Oh, very cool.
It is one of, allegedly, only 49 T5R wagons that were finished in cream yellow, which, if I'm honest, isn't the most attractive color.
Maybe
for,
not
for
the
a car
best
that's
color.
ever been made. It's a 4-speed automatic, and since the seller acquired it, they have done 11 million things to it, including lowering the springs, replacing cylinder heads. It's got a new sunroof, new radiator, new spoiler, new fog lights, new roof rails, a new traction control system, better side impact protection. So it's had a lot of time in the shop and done to it. That is a Viva Performance airbag steering wheel in it. It's got an aftermarket 140-mile-an-hour speedo, and
That is a fantastic aftermarket edition.
so my question to you, my friend, is which one of these cars sold for more money?
Oh boy. Well, I can only suspect you pandered this directly to me because you know my affinity for Volvos.
Actually, I should point out that I randomize the order of all the.
Oh.
So I build the challenge and then I randomize the order of drivers.
So it's fate. That
Yes,
brought me
you were
here
fated
to
to this.
To this seat. Well, I think it's also very important to point out that this Volvo has 5 windshield wipers on it.
You have the
5?
You have the 2 at the front window. You have 1 at the rear window, and then you have 1 little mini wiper per headlight.
Well, then we will divide the final number by 5 and find out what we're paying for wipers here.
Yeah, that's a I will say that the history of the Volvo doesn't scream good purchase to me.
All right.
Given a lot of those changes. My heart wants to go with the Volvo, but I know that if I were shopping these 2 cars and I saw that list of maintenance history on the Volvo, including things like lowered springs, I'd be a little amiss. I think I feel like the FJ Cruiser is the right move, but I have to follow my heart and go with the square body Volvo.
So you're going to go with the Volvo. Do you know what they say about Volvo people?
Oh no, here we go.
They're as nuts as Porsche people.
Hey, there we go.
By exactly $500. Goals, that is 1 challenge point for you.
More important, that is my first point.
That is your
of
first
the
point.
season.
It's your only point of the season.
I will take it.
Thank you, Goals.
Yes, absolutely.
Please send me Conan.
Can do.
Bring me a Conan. Making sure I do this right because I did it wrong last night and shortchanged Trap. Hi, how are you feeling about your GT4?
It is delightful.
Yeah?
That AMG is very fun to drive. It's an extremely good car.
Well, I have 2 other extremely fun cars for you.
Cannot wait.
A 95 Testarossa or a 91 Carrera 2.
What does ROW stand for?
We don't know because it's only used as acronym in this entire
In the entire
set
ad,
here.
be like, if you know, then you know.
Yeah.
Thanks,
So we're
Jonas.
gonna. I have some details for you that you will
Excellent.
appreciate. The Testarossa is showing quote 54,000 miles. As always, we don't know what that means. Most of those miles were under the care of its long-term owner prior to a January 21 purchase. This is obviously a 5-liter flat 12, which there is just literally nothing like it elsewhere in the history of the universe. Pininfarina body, yada, 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 3-spoke leather. At factory, the engine was rated at 380 horsepower and 354 foot-pounds.
Also 200 decibels.
Also 200 decibels, and it had its timing belt serviced in 21. The clutch assembly was replaced, and a transmission service was also performed in 21. And that is unfortunately all the detail we have on the Testarossa other than what's on its photocopied dealer card. We don't know why they don't have the original dealer card. Don't know if that makes a difference to you or not. The Carrera, on the other hand, here we go. 62,000 miles shown, and I say shown in this particular case because this is a French delivery 911, and it lived the vast majority of its life there. So it's probably something like 90,000 or 100,000 kilometers on the clock. Yeah, 99,000 kilometers. Was purchased by the seller in 23 and then imported to the U.S. So it lived in France for 20-odd years or whatnot, 30-odd years. Where are we here? It's got the 17-inch club wheels, Club Sport steering wheel. It is now living in Texas. Still has the manuals, a clean Carfax report, and for some reason the title is a Montana title, titled in the name of the seller's LLC.
It's very standard for not dealing with smog or taxes.
Yes, this is someone who knows what they are doing on importing cars, probably precisely because they wanted to bring it to, for instance, a bring a trailer type situation. It's a maritime blue, which is not a PTS at the time. It's on Michelin Pilot Sports, classic gray leather interior, and obviously this is a rear-wheel drive 5-speed manual, just like the Testarossa. And here's my favorite part of this description. The underside and the wheel wells were dry ice blasted in preparation for do you know what that is?
Yes, I do actually.
What is dry ice
It is
blasting?
exactly what it sounds like.
Is
where
it sexual?
No, it's not.
Okay.
I mean, like, it depends on how much of a Porsche guy you are. But like, if you get in the undercarriage with a high-speed stream of dry ice,
It's literally you're shooting dry ice at the car.
Yeah, because
And
you want-
why would you do that versus like glass beads or anything else?
Probably because it leaves no remnants behind, so you have nothing to like be concerned about. Just evaporates.
So it does not evaporate. It sublimes,
Oh, okay.
sublimates.
I was
Which-
never a huge Sublime fan. To be honest.
It brings us back to the question at hand, which is Conan, which one of these cars sold for more dollars?
So can I have a question?
Yeah,
here?
yeah.
So I do not know what the generation of that year where the Carrera 2 fits in the Porsche lineage in that period.
Like,
of
are you
time.
asking me if it's a 930 or it's a 964 or it's a
Like, is the Carrera 2 like the base model of its time?
Yeah,
or
yeah,
is
yeah,
it-
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
It's not a. I'm gonna say the Testarossa just because I think that. Thank you, Matteo, for pointing out that ROW stands for Rest of World.
Ah.
So it is an imported car.
Ah.
So I am going to lean towards the Testarossa. I'm going to say the Testarossa because I feel like it has a slightly less complex story, and unless there's something special about who imported it, getting a French 911 is probably not a big killer. So let's see.
I don't think the French are known for their German automobiles. I think they're known for something quite else. So the answer to your question is it's the Porsche.
Wow.
It's the Porsche by a pretty substantial
yeah.
amount, and the answer is Porsche people are nuts.
That's right. I mean, I guess it makes sense. Like that's who wants to show up in that Ferrari.
Like
If you could show up in a Ferrari, would you choose a Testarossa? It depends on how much cocaine you have in your system.
my thought is, as rare as a pristine 91 Carrera might be, it's a fucking Testarossa.
Right.
Like that is how many. Okay, you're an adolescent. You're in your bedroom, living in your parents' place. You've got a poster of a car on the wall. Is it a Testarossa? Highly likely.
Right.
Is it a 911? Only a 911 turbo.
Right.
That is not a 911
that's what,
turbo.
like that's what gets me about this is like I wonder if there is something in the maybe the cocaine supply is just bad now. Maybe it's just the time of Ferrari.
I was very pressed for time this week, and so something I did not do is read the comments in the Bring a Trailer
the
thread.
comments in the Bring a
So
Trailer
if someone wants to read the comments and tell me what the true history is, please feel free. Conan, thank you.
Thank you very
No
much.
points for you.
No points from me.
Bring me Shote.
And may God rest my soul.
It is Cold War kids. Hey man, that was the Aerodrain. That was the thing. Shote,
Yes.
how was your GT4 experience?
Rough.
Why was it rough?
My feet hurt.
The brakes here are they will take 150 pounds of input, and if you're putting 150 pounds of input on the brake, it means you're also putting 150 pounds of output on the other side. So,
Turns out that's my entire body mass.
all right, your challenge for tonight, Shote, and yes, I assure you this was random. The 58 Ford 861 Powermaster, or Honda's K-Truck, a 92, which Drain is Drain, you're not allowed to have opinions until we finish the segment. Let me tell you about these cars. Cars. The tractor, the Powermaster, is powered by a 172 cubic inch inline four with a 5-speed manual, so you got to roll your own gears on this thing, which is pretty cool. It was acquired by the seller's family in 2005, refurbished completely in 2009. Rebuilt the engine, the transmission, the body, the drivetrain, the wheels. It has rear power takeoff, which I'm not a tractor guy, but I think that means that the axle will actually spin at the rear, and you can put tools on it that do things. So is that what that means? I think that's what that means. 3-point hitch assembly, independent rear drum brakes, reversible center dish wheels, no reserve in Pennsylvania with the bill of sale. And so it has seen both actual farms and also lots of salt. Nothing special about the steel. It's got all the gauges. It's gas fueled. And there are historical and refurbishment photos available upon request. Your K truck, on the other hand, here we go. This is the four-wheel drive Acti SDX, which it actually says right up there. This was acquired and imported into the U.S. in 23. Subsequently, it was repainted in blue. That's kind of more of a baby blue or a sky blue, if I'm being honest. Reupholstered the interior in gray vinyl. It's got 13-inch alloys and an aftermarket muffler, and they've done something to has it been stanced? This K-Truck has been stanced, showed. Also, what do we got here? Fold-down bedsides, window rain guards, and mud flaps. Wheel offsets, Drain says. Probably what happened here. It's got a 656cc inline 3, so one less cylinder than the Traffic, but like 400 more cubic centimeters. It was oil changed in preparation for this very sale. Four-wheel drive with a bazooka muffler, and you have to tell me which one of these costs more.
I want to walk through this logically. I'm seeing the number 1958,
Yeah,
which means historic. I also heard the word historic and paperwork. It's been painted really nicely, and I have seen a lot of like documentaries about people, well, not from the 1958s, but just taking tractors and just racing them. So that's where I'm leaning.
You've done substantially more research on this than I have. So you're saying the tractor.
I'm saying the tractor. Sorry, Drain.
Shote's saying the tractor. Survey says it's the tractor. It's the tractor by almost $6,000.
All right then.
Congratulations, Shote. That is going to get you 1 season point.
Excellent. I'm gonna race Drain in a tractor next time.
Be careful what you wish for. Bring me our final subject for the night, Space Punies.
All right.
Now you have to race it. Space Punies.
Hello.
How was that GT4?
Interesting, but much better with the added force feedback.
You
on
brought
the
it up to
wheel.
15?
Yeah, so I could catch the slides earlier.
That's awesome. You were absolutely boring as hell to watch.
Great.
And that's the best compliment I could give you.
I'll take it.
You had no one in front of you, no one behind you, and you didn't fuck up. So, on the other hand, here's your challenge. And due to the roll of the dice, I think you got the best one.
Oh, really?
You ready?
Okay.
It is an 18,000 mile 458 Spider or an 18 McLaren 720S. Let me tell you a little bit about the options here. The Ferrari's got 18,000 miles on it, which it says right up there at the top. It was initially sold in Spring Valley, New York. It was acquired by this seller in 17. As I'm sure you know, this is a 4.5 liter dual overhead cam V8, naturally aspirated 7-speed dual clutch. Being naturally aspirated, of course, and revving as high as it does, it's a 562 horse, 398 foot-pound car, which is substantially less powerful than the McLaren that we will talk about here in a second. Basically, carbon fiber everything, lead everything. It's on 235s up front, 295s in the rear. It's running Pilot Super Sports, which is kind of weird. You'd almost expect it to be on Sport Cups if you're going to be that kind of guy that buys a 458 Spider. It is a convertible, obviously. Well, I mean, technically it's a Spider. It's its own thing. But you know what I'm trying to say here. You can see the sky from inside the car. Semantics. It's got a Getrag 7-speed dual clutch. And they thought it would be useful to provide the MSRP, which was $329,000.
That's useful.
The McLaren, on the other hand, 7,000 miles.
How many of those on just the electric motor?
That's a really great question. Carbon Fiber 1, a stealth pack. Don't know what that means. Sport exhaust system. It's finished in Glacier White. It's a 4-liter V8, but twin turbocharged, which explains why it makes 710 horsepower and 468 foot-pounds. It is an absolute monster. Heated seats, adjustable everything, flat bottom steering wheel, Gorilla Glass uppers, front splitter, rear diffuser, carbon everywhere. Obviously, it's rear-wheel drive, fixed back seats, so these are effectively racing seats. What is this? And these seats are FIA certified with an expiration in 2028, and it's got all the documentation.
You got
and
4 years
paperwork.
left on your seats.
For 4 years left on your seats before they don't let you track them.
Goodness.
So the 18,000 mile 458, which is naturally aspirated, but by far the weaker car, or the, what did I say, 7,000 mile?
Yeah. Did that also come with the MSRP?
No, the
Okay.
seller did not provide the MSRP here, so
Shucks.
you're flying blind.
Okay. I mean, who knows? Honestly, I'm just going to go with the idea of someone trying to resell a hybrid compared to a Ferrari, and I would have to go with a Ferrari being commanding more money afterwards. And secretly, behind the scenes, this is a 50-50 guess. I got no idea.
So you're gonna make a call, and then I'm gonna tell you what I think of it.
Yeah.
Make your call.
450, or sorry, the 458.
My logic is that when in doubt, Spider.
Yeah.
The Spider just adds 50 grand, and no matter what you're doing, it just adds money.
I will concur with that.
Let's see if you are correct.
Oh,
28 grand
All
difference.
right.
The car is 3 years older, 10,000 miles more driven, 300 horsepower less powerful. Naturally aspirated, does not come with FIA certified seats, sir. And like we were talking about Porsche people being nuts and Volvo people being nuts, Ferrari people are nuts. And I don't think that McLaren people, frankly, identify themselves in public for reasons like this. So,
yeah.
I do believe that gets you one challenge point for the season. Space Punies bringing you up a notch, and we'll calculate all that later. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm gonna go hit the danger button on the pod or on the alerts here and summon everybody back out to set up for the final race.
I'll stay up.
Welcome back, Trap.
All right.
Did anything surprise you?
Tractors were a thing I did not really know much about, but yeah.
I've got nothing. I knew nothing about tractors. All right, where are we in the run of show? Y'all can just go ahead and get them in their practice sessions, and I'll tell you when to drop them into qualify. So, on that note, that brings us to the deck. Not this. We are entering Feature Race 2. We are still running GT4 class, a slide or a collection of slides that you're going to see literally every time we do this segment on the Wednesday crew for the next 3 weeks. Obviously, you got a chance to see everybody put down one race in the GT4s, and you also got 4 different drivers' opinions of their GT4s and also of their pedal pressure. And so I actually don't really have a whole lot to say about the GT4s here, other than this is the AMG. And so far, based on our numbers and the anecdotal information from our drivers, it does seem like the AMG is the favorite in the series, one race in.
Absolutely. The race tonight is on the storied Charlotte Motor Speedway. It's an American classic built in 1959 that supports IndyCar, NASCAR, and IMSA Sports Car Championships. The configuration we're using is the Roval.
I love that word.
So it's basically, yeah, it's got both the NASCAR oval, but it also has this road car infield. So you can see how the track kind of it goes in there. It's got the road track there. And it makes a tight track that rewards both tight handling as well as straight line speed. Car choices will matter here a lot. None of them took the Aston.
I don't think anyone took the Aston, which, if I remember my notes correctly, is the fastest straight line car in the GT4 class in iRacing. Please correct me if I'm wrong on that. I'm just recalling an anecdote that I drove here. Point being, there is a lot of opportunity for the cars to get up to speed here. In fact, we decided to include the chicanes precisely because of that, to kind of bring the straight line advantage of certain GT4 cars back under control here. So with that said, our drivers are out in practice. Let's go to the quad.
We built this track. How do we do that?
I also like the way you I also really like the way
You know that's a good point.
They seem to be doing fine. This is fine.
Great.
I was gonna say I've seen some
Not a
worse
problem.
track entry and track exits, but that one's pretty. That pit exit is egregious.
How many laps do you think is a fair amount of lapping before we force them in the qualifier here?
I mean, let's give him at least a lap.
All right.
Oh yeah.
And I think laps be about 120, 130.
Oh, can we actually take damage this time? Looks like you lost a fender.
I don't think damage is turned on. Is damage turned on?
Yeah, it snaps off. Yeah, it snaps off.
Oh, okay. Good.
It's showing you the fender you would have lost.
So on those straights, Goals is going to hit a $140 here before he has to hit the brake zone. That's pretty quick.
UPS involved.
Coming out to the second big round section. 90, 100, $110, $120, and has to rein it in. So a little bit faster than Scuba.
Look at that nicely cambered curve there.
I do love the banked turns. But I also love the off-camber turns. So, which when I don't think we're doing that this season, but when we eventually get people onto Cadwell Park, that will definitely be a thing they have to experience, as well as the jump.
AMG's like a trophy truck.
See, they found the chicanes.
They found the chicanes. Goals chasing down a beamer. Looks like an AI beamer.
Send him off the track, Ben.
Send him off the track, Ben.
Angela Sinopoli, actually, who I believe is the director of sales of iRacing, if I remember my emails correctly.
Maybe are you telling me I should?
I'm telling that I might not receive any discount on my pods next year if you make this ugly, so please don't. Conan approaching some drama.
That's one way to do it. That's one way to do it.
Yeah, the Ben's taking a creative line through there.
Just keeping me on the low line here. Oh no, I cut the corner.
Hey, you better lift. You cut the corner.
They're having some flag issues out there right now. We're gonna zoom back out.
Fuck.
This feels like a dramatically appropriate amount of time to let them practice.
I feel like it's just enough for them to know a little bit about what they're in for.
Way to take that lap
Showed if
back.
you'd be so kind as to bring them back in and advance the session. I apologize about your feet. I did not set out to hurt you. Hurting you was never our intent.
I mean, these pods do give off a lot of force, though.
They do give off a lot of force. And as I learned from doing R&D barefoot for most nights down here, I do not recommend bare feet on the Hosingfeld pedals unless you grew up in a gravel parking lot, which fortunately I did.
As long as I don't DQ.
So much fun.
All right, the qualifier begins again. This is a 10-minute qualifying session, open on the track, and so they must qualify with everybody else out there in traffic. I am looking forward to the first black flag on the pit exit.
And respect the blue lane, or you will get black flagged.
I'm not seeing any flags on the pit exit.
Where are you going, Conan?
Kona's decided to go to Bank of America.
The cold tires are cold.
My guys put the warmers on.
And tire warmers can also serve as dog beds.
Do GT4s get tire warmers?
Nope.
I believe the Bank of America thing is, I think they are the NASCAR sponsor for the Roval.
It's very, very possible. Ooh, that was close. That was tight. Hearing some drama over in Shotland here, zooming back in. He's smiling to himself. That's never a good sign. They say you cut the course. You're a maverick, but you get results.
Sorry, I thought that was quick.
Nothing's clear to me.
Buddy, not clear to me in here.
Goals out there chasing what looks to be another AMG.
Wow, it is actually way better at 15 Newton meters.
Was that okay with me just leaving the ugly button out there for you guys to make your own call? Was that useful?
Which ugly button?
The Newton meter selection profiles.
Yeah, that was very handy.
Cool.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, that was good.
A thing that we would absolutely not do in a retail environment.
I mean, it is the trade-off between getting more wheel resistance, wheel feel, versus you just have to, you gotta really muscle that wheel.
The wheels themselves go up to 25 Newton meters, which I have only done once.
You could argue that at that point the car is driving you.
Yeah, and like iRacing is really good about mapping the car profiles to the force feedback profiles and being like, it's not like you're not dialing up what the car does. You're making the wheel more capable of expressing what the car is trying to express. So there's a top point at which you're not really going to get any more force out of it.
Okay.
You're just going to get more granularity in the interior of what you're doing.
Got it.
But I still would not race a Radical SR8 at 25 Newton meters to save my life. There's just absolutely no way. That's like wrist sprain territory for a cream puff like me.
I mean, when the car decides it wants to go off the track, the wheel is
Hands
going
up.
to do a thing. Yeah.
Pedals in, hands up. Let the car decide. Our Simucube Pro 2 wheels have a really neat feature, which is that when they exercise a whole bunch of force and you are no longer holding on to the wheel, they detect that and temporarily cut off all motion. It's one of the many safety features built into it. Would you like to see another safety feature that we have not yet built, but we're gonna here shortly? Hold on.
Ooh, that was a lot of understeer.
Ah, it's all caught up in the cables. So, all of the wheels come with race time cutoffs. There's a big red button you can smack at each of the pods that will disable the force feedback on the wheel. Kind of not necessary because we're already dialing the wheels into safe numbers and everybody here is experienced, but it's a good idea. It's a thing that you should have. That's not the dangerous part on the pods, in my opinion. The dangerous parts on the pods are the D-box actuators that live at every corner that are more than capable of propelling one of those 200-pound humans and the 200 pounds of pod at considerable G-forces at considerable hertz to make them bounce around. We felt like that's actually the thing that needs to have some sort of safety cutoff, and it turns out that there is no such thing. D-Box says that their software detects over positioning conditions and will automatically cut itself off. And I've felt that happen twice. However, that is not what you would want to have in a retail environment. So what we have chosen to get is the stop button, which of course is just a 15 amp power switch attached to a giant 3D printed stop button. And we will interrupt the power rail that contains both the wheel and the actuators, which is pulling at peak about 15 amps. And we're gonna find a place on the pod to put the big stop button, and that's gonna make me feel much better and sleep better at night. I don't know who I'm kidding. That's gonna make my insurance adjuster feel better at night, but. Where are we on the qualifier? We are at, I want to say, 4 minutes-ish. Zooming in on human. Stop! We got 4 minutes left on the qualifier, and we have been turning in some times. We've got Conan, who's currently in the 3rd position with a 1:27.5. Mm-hmm. Can't see goals time right now, but that's okay. We'll see it soon enough.
It says he had a last 1:29.
He really likes the relative display.
Ah.
Space Punies is sitting in position 6 at a 1:28.5. So 1:27.5 and 1:28.5 separate positions 3 and 6, about a second. And then showed at position 8 with a 1:31.3. So of what we can see right now, we've got a gap of about 4 seconds, which is about what we'd expect given the performance in the previous race. You go through instead of taking the chicane, is that a flag? Yes, that is absolutely a flag. in our current configuration of the iRacing rules, you would get black flagged by race control, and they would probably ask you to slow down or stop to give it up. If it's egregious enough, they might pull you into the pit. And then obviously, if you do not adhere to those, you will be pulled out of the race entirely. Which of those things happen is part of their algorithm that I do not necessarily understand, nor would I want to. I kind of like the idea. I kind of like the idea that I'm not 100% certain what race control is going to do if I fuck up, or even if they're going to see it. So
I think we were trying to figure out if it's faster to just skip the chicane, take the penalty, and then just eat it while you're slowing down for your next corner.
Well, so an interesting bit of trivia, as near as we can tell, is that the amount of penalty it gives you for cutting corners is based on iRacing's understanding of a good pole position type of lap for that. And so you are very frequently already going slower than what it thinks you should be doing anyway. And so the penalty just kind of melts away on its own because you suck.
Right.
Compared to them.
Compared to, yeah, exactly. Although I imagine if you can take the chicane properly, it's probably still better for you speed-wise.
Yeah, I would imagine that they have calculated the penalties such that racing the course correctly is always the net faster option.
I mean, I'd hope so.
No one's proven us wrong so far.
Yes.
Looking through our pods again with 2 minutes left on the clock. Shodan 10 with that 131.3. Space Punies now in the Space Punies has all the standings up. Look at this guy.
Oh,
What a hero. Pod 3, which is Goals pod. It looks like it's sitting on a 125.4. Ted Remote with a 125.5. Beautiful hands up, Space Punies. Thank you for driving safely. Dr. Gould in 4th with a 125.8. Tonight we race pod 4. That's Conan with a 126.1. Are those the actual standings or are those the lasts? No, there's the 131.3. Yep, that's what it is. Yep.
It's a very tight spread.
Tight spread. This is going to be interesting. Space Punies pitting in because there's really nothing you can do to improve that at this point. With a minute left.
I'm okay with that.
Show just barely missing the catch on that.
Derek.
My Optimum is up there with you guys on those.
Goals with his timing ribbon up there. He's just giving up a tiny fraction compared to, he's putting it back on. This could be his best lap. No, he chooses to go to Bank of America.
My regular laps are going to be quite worse.
Yeah.
We've all been there. That's a lot of cones. That's a lot of wall. Very intense look.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, blue cones.
This is a man that does not want to be in 6th.
No open wheel to capture cones on this car.
Yes. Design flaw, frankly. Believe we're about to get the checkers. There they are. Bring them in, folks. It's time to do it for money. Well, points. It's a great question. No one knows. Somewhere inside the Roval, the pit lives.
That's it. Yeah.
Oh, I think that's it. Yeah, that's it.
It was invalid. It was faster. Tragedy.
All right, what are we looking at here? We're looking at Dr. Gould with a 124.7. When did he turn that in?
You followed up your 125.
Mm-hmm.
Our remotes are really doing the work tonight.
It's weird because I thought I had like a 124.6 and then that disappeared.
Oh, you got a 124.7.
All right, we're gonna wait for the session to advance here, and then we are gonna grid them in, and we will have our 20-minute feature race number 2 on the Charlotte Roval.
The Roval.
Roval.
It's just a fun word to say.
I'm excited.
Yeah, 20 minutes. That's a long time to not have a big crash.
What's it actually waiting for? Oh, it has to wait for the AIs to finish their thing. All right, 5 seconds.
Guarantee you at least one exciting
I
accident.
think season 2 we are definitely going to put up a fifth display so we can spectate directly.
You
Oh,
have to
yeah.
really friggin' bend it off the curve and hit your brakes.
That will
hard
require
just
2 people to
right,
operate,
like,
though.
the way-
We are already at cognitive overload running this thing.
Real spicy.
Yeah.
Oh, this is.
Yeah, it's a rolling start.
Rolling start. Where
Right,
are they on
The
track?
convenient Porsche GT3 in front of you.
Shut up.
Does everybody remember how this works? Do we need to have a chat?
I'm slightly concerned that I have no idea how to do a rolling start in this configuration.
You're in the back, so.
You're in the back,
So
so
where was it?
Are they like in the middle of a turn? What is?
hard.
I see. I can't see Conan's side screens. Where is the rest of the field? Oh, there they are.
Okay, it's before that second chicane.
Yeah.
What is? Yeah. So there's someone
I have to
straight on
start
your
from the
right.
pits.
Yeah, I
and
think
quality.
you're turning left into the.
Yeah, like,
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
yeah,
Yeah,
I
this
think I
is-
hit the
they're on the
fence
curve.
on like every lap.
yeah. Oh, we're rolling.
They are rolling.
We're rolling.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, weird. Okay, they're like start in a parked line, I guess. And pull out into the rolling start.
So Space Punis is being told to catch the 2 car,
Last time it just instantly did.
That was very confusing.
catch the 7 car. It says now.
This would be easier if I could read.
Let the
numbers.
3 car by. It says.
Which makes it a little bit easier.
Okay, so I'm supposed to stay on the right side. I can tell that much. And I'm supposed to.
Yeah, Conan, I think you're exactly where you need to be.
It says the lane on the top. It says pit lane closed, left lane, stay behind car, number of car. So
I
left
don't
or
even
right.
know which one is the
You need to go
301.
past.
Five
You need to
car.
go past me. Are you John?
Turns out it's also a puzzle game at the start.
The numbers are not that easy to
God, it's gonna
read.
give us an entire lap of this.
Folks, I don't know who the
Yep.
301 car is.
Well, most of the lap.
And we're gonna go super slow around the
Didn't
oval.
give us this in scuba.
Didn't give us
but it
this in
did for
scuba,
this.
but it did for this.
Okay, so I just need to stay behind this BMW in front of me. Oh my god, got it.
Okay.
Space Puny's catching up to his position.
Just a little nudge.
This AI is bumping.
Shoat living where he needs to live. Have they packed? They're in a pack now. It's great. Look at this.
Who's in fourth? Yeah,
Who's in fourth?
Everything that should have happened has happened.
Are you in third, Ben?
Yes.
Oh my god.
You're like, I'm glad that scared you.
Nothing like a little performative confusion at the front of a race.
Yeah.
You don't go as.
It does. You don't go as soon as it dies. Like it'll
Wait for the
tell.
green.
It has to go past the pit line.
Because that was the problem there. Is it was like I saw it dove off, and I was like, I guess we're good.
I think when it dives, you get that then the starting lights come up on
Yeah,
the
like you
screen.
keep going slow.
Yeah, you get the green lights once it's actually green, but it's tough to tell, especially at scuba where it's just like yeah, it goes in super
So
quick,
20
yeah.
minutes. It's about a minute 30 per lap.
Did a start on the big straight we had there.
It's gonna be what?
AI
Like,
is like
12 laps? Yeah. Oh, Jesus. Drama has already occurred.
The AI just hit me.
the AI just hit me.
It says the Ram.
Oh no!
Says
Oh
the
no!
Ram.
Yo, what the heck?
Yo,
I
what
have
the
to let
heck?
the car by,
I have to
but
let someone by. 301, go by.
Goal's getting to use a little bit of the beans now, catching up to the
Yeah,
four
the
car.
AI rammed me.
okay, Jesus Christ.
Slotting right back in like it never happened.
Well
Jesus.
done.
That was terrifying.
That was terrifying.
Slamming
Just
back into
slamming back into spot full tilt.
And he hit me again.
And he hit me again.
And it's green.
And now it's for
Begin the
real.
chaos.
Hit me again.
The AI hit me again.
The AI
Oh,
hit me
Jesus.
again, that son of a bitch.
Oh my. Chaos.
Holy cow. All right, we're moving now. Space Puny's sitting behind Tonight We Race Pod 1 in the McLaren, I think. No, I'm sorry. That's ahead. That's Angela. Excuse me.
Oh my god.
Now we're
What a thing.
Death to AI. Hey, man, I asked for the count.
Derek,
Uh oh.
Ooh. getting through the traffic is Goals, now sitting behind, I believe, the number 2 Ted Carter.
Yeah. Rude.
Don't worry, there's no way I'm finishing it first. The choke will be huge.
This is what I wanted anyway.
Conan in 6 trying to catch up. He's already got an 8x incident count in the first lap. It's a spicy lap.
It's good content for Twitch.
Content for the content gods.
For the content gods.
Standing still shows you in first, Derek, on my screen.
Yeah, it only updates over the start finish line.
Goals is looking for a line on Ted. He's going to need to bring it a little bit further in before he can do it.
AI.
Showed in clear air.
Coming up on that chicane, though.
Bomb 'em and just like force them,
Space
they'll get it
Punies in traffic. Conan in 3rd, coming up on AI Matt Holden. Excuse me, that's not right. Sorry. That's, excuse me. I keep swapping in my brain what ahead and behind mean.
Oh, he's coming up on Goals?
Yeah, he's coming up on Goals. So we've got Ted, Goals, and Conan in the 1, 2, 3 positions here, and staying close enough that we're going to watch this from right here.
Yeah, the AI car is also putting pressure on him.
Yeah, Holden really chomping at the bit back there. Looks like Goals has lost a little bit of distance on the number 1 Ted. Nice navigation of the chicane, gets on it hard. One of these days we need to figure out whether maintaining that racing line is faster than sneaking 2 wheels into the pit lane there. I wouldn't recommend trying it with this race control tonight. Transmission screaming in protest. Conan also maintaining a respectful distance, but Holden right on his butt. Checking in on Space Punies, now I believe in 7. Taking a somewhat novel line through that turn and eating a flag for it. And Schode has gone to Bank of America. Or actually the University of Phoenix. Or I didn't even see what was over there. What was over there?
I'm not sure. I'm not up to my racetrack ads.
Toyota. While the drivers have the benefit of a 165 hertz view of the problem, we are
kept it together.
We are eating that up here through 2 layers of translation.
Came out. It called an incident.
Like
You
you
hit the
called
wall
an
hard
incident.
enough.
You hit the wall
Yeah.
hard enough.
Yeah.
Wow.
Still the 1, 2, 3 story up front here. However, we're not seeing Conan in Goals' rearview mirror anymore. But he's back there. Looking at about a 2 second 2 second gap between 1 and 2 and a 2 second gap between 2 and 3. Now that all the drama is over, I wasn't expecting the Roval to be quite so consistent.
Huh. I mean, it is an oval. Basically.
The platonic ideal of a Roval.
I guess they wanted you to do more than just turn left?
I mean, they do that now in NASCAR.
Do they?
They do that in IndyCar, too. Indianapolis 500 is a great infield. Conan now at 2.7. A little bit of ablative speed shedding on the wall there. Just to leave it out. Goals beginning to experience a little bit of hand fatigue. This is definitely a lot of force to maintain for a long period of time.
That's what the gloves are for, though, presumably.
It's what the gloves are for. We've got we had a yellow flag out. Not sure what that was pertaining to.
Now in front of me and a problem.
Yeah, don't worry. I'll be behind him too.
What I have noticed is that the The Discord channel with all the drivers has gone considerably more quiet this race than the last one. Definitely high concentration state here. Looks like Ted's going to participate in his first overtake up front here. Question is, will that mess things up for Ted enough that Goals eat some time here? He may pick up the seconds in traffic here.
You're okay, Ted. I'm not gonna make any kind of shitty pass on you. Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, he flew off the track.
And Goals is in the front.
And then blocked me.
That was me.
That's friggin' awesome.
Which part of it was you, Shote? The fender?
In a way, and then
That
pinned
was
me into
me,
a corner.
not an
That
AI.
was me.
Oh,
not an
ah.
AI.
Oh, that was a human.
Oh, did you get tapped?
Yeah, okay.
Oh,
That's
no.
A little bit more forgivable then. You're good.
Sorry, we did not did not know.
Did not know.
We should not be treating our AIs any better or worse than our drivers, especially since we can't tell them apart. Conan still holding position 3, behind Goals, behind Ted. 2.6 seconds and 2.8 seconds, respectively.
I'm in the bright green AMG.
The positions are solidifying and the gaps are increasing.
I don't know, fifth now or something.
I mean, honestly, I think there's an AI between you and I.
There could be some drama coming up here. We'll see what happens once they get onto that straightaway.
Shote hanging tight in there behind. Look at that. Good turn, good line. Uses all the track, gets back on it. Conan appears to be facing in an incorrect direction. Rapid work on the transmission to get him back out.
Didn't quite save that slide. Now you got an AI hunting you down.
Bummer. Sorry to hear it, buddy. You were putting time on me for sure.
Somewhere in that morass, Goals has advanced into the first position,
I noticed a second drop in the last.
with Conan immediately behind. Gap of about 1.3. Space Punies in traffic, having just overtaken Pod 1 and hunting for Ted, who is now sitting in the 7th place position.
You're on, bud.
Yellow flag out on the field. It looks like something that happened right there, right where we are.
Yeah. Maybe we can have some fun back here.
Yeah. I looked down at the timesheet to see if there was an AI ahead of me, and then I missed a break mark.
Conan going wheel to wheel on Holden.
Good thing your old pal John's coming up. Oh, that's a big wall hit.
A little wide through the hairpin, but bringing it back in. Little scrape. It's going to cost him a couple miles an hour.
Oh baby.
Space Puny is avoiding drama.
Was that Brett? Who was that? Was that Brett? Yeah. Later.
I'll try to catch you.
Won't be long.
According to race control, with 10 minutes left in the race, podium is looking good, is what they say to Conan in his 3rd place. He's coming up on Matt Holden, the AI.
Hey, did you color your car after your personality?
That's why it says Fury on the side.
Goals out in front. Big wide line through there, gets back on it early.
Not exactly perfect.
Not
but it's
exactly
still on the
perfect, but
right
it's
way.
still on the right way.
Showing a good lap time though.
Yeah, he's we haven't checked in a lap times while that's a buck 26.2. Buck 25.7 from Conan. Could role play his parents and say only if you could be consistent.
Thanks, John.
What'd I do?
What'd I do?
126.5 and 132.6. Goals out in the clear air. My least favorite turn on this track.
That one runs you right up against the wall on the exit.
Well, the AMG is heavy enough that it can eat curbs and bounce over apexes like that. I don't think anyone picked the 718, but it's light enough that traversing curbs like that is somewhat problematic and unsettling for the car.
Looks like Conan's just looking for that pass opportunity.
Yeah, Holden doesn't seem to be particularly fun to drive behind. .730 on the clock. Complete silence from the Discord.
Just keep doing some thumb breakers back here.
Concentrating hard.
Space Punies with a nice line through there. He's now sitting in 7th. He's got Ted up ahead. I want to say that's a 4.8 gap there. About a 3-second gap now. Put out a 126.4 as his best. He is cooking.
There's always such a violent steering input. Right before the chicane on the start.
All we do here is violence.
Yeah, it's a big one.
Goals in deep concentration.
Just gotta keep it steady. That's it.
His Air Jordan face is the overlip. He's got Holden at 2.6 seconds behind him. Conan still tight on Holden's butt. He's looking for the opportunity. And if I can tap into his brain here, I'm thinking he's thinking, how much of a penalty am I going to eat to clip that to overtake? It worked out for that dude on Laguna Seca. Some gentle touches on the Aston. Not enough. He's diving inside. A lot of contact. A lot of contact and loses it. You gambled and lost, sir.
No, this is not where you want to be.
Things are still dramatic
no.
back there. Things are still very dramatic. That's going to leave the primary drama with Goals here trying to hold off the Matt Holden AI. Conan's still in 3rd, but now he's got some traffic to work through.
I'm definitely not still in 3rd.
You can, like, when you slide on the big corner, you can be
That's
Oh no.
I've never seen that happen. What was that?
The spectators were getting involved in that one.
That may have been a fatality crash with the crowd. All the damage is repairable.
Yeah, someone ran into
That is super unfortunate.
Oh no.
Is anybody else out there with a non-functional car? I'm guessing that's an AI then.
So apparently, this speedway does have a bit of a reputation as being not the safest track.
Tell me all about it.
I guess there were a couple injuries and fatalities in the 1990s and early 2000s. And I think they did rework some of the track in the mid 2000s, but I'm not sure kind of to what extent that was safety related. They did some resurfacing, but at some point they just said, you know, we're done. It is what it is.
It's not what I would call a track with the most safety features I've
Yes.
ever seen, such as long gravel runoffs and hay bales with canvas. And like part of that is because it's meant to support all these different configurations, and it's an infield inside an oval. But this seems like a dangerous place to fuck up, frankly.
Yeah.
Why are the hot dogs blue here? I demand that answer. Goals out in front with 2 minutes left on the clock. He is sitting about a second in front of Holden. We don't know what Matt Holden is going to do in that last second or how aggressive the AI considers.
There's an AI approaching me, and I'm never been scared.
So you're saying this is scarier than ChatGPT?
This may as well be.
This may as well be ChatGPT.
Destroying the carbon footprint of 3 Midwestern states is ChatGPT coming in behind goals.
It's an Aston Martin.
It's an Aston Martin.
Conan's place now reflecting where he actually is in 6th. He is trying to hold it together here. With Space Punies behind, but not in striking distance for minute 24, unless something really weird happens. Shoda's been let out of his pit lane, and I am confused on his behalf. What the hell is going on in there? That is a weird pit.
That is a strange pit.
Conan at 2.6 seconds on Ted. Possible but unlikely with a minute on the clock. Goals Car's intervention system trying to keep it all together here.
And that's the white flag.
That is the last lap. Can he hold it together?
Does iRacing decide it's the last lap, or does it kind of know what a lap time should be?
So we are racing under what's called timed conditions, which means that the last lap happens when the time is expired.
I see.
So we wanted to have a 20-minute segment, and so it has arranged itself to be a 20-minute segment.
Okay. How polite.
That's getting scored.
The problem with running lap-based races is, as you hint, you actually have to know exactly how many laps you're turning in and how long they're going to be before you can correctly predict how long your race is going to be. Which we're not good at, if you remember.
Not good at.
Oh, shit.
Oh, dear.
Oh no! Brandon.
What is going on back there?
There's some traffic.
Oh no, you're just close enough.
No, you're just close enough. Yeah, we're definitely. We're coming in.
Gosh darn it.
This is a dangerous and disappointing end to the race here. That was a lot of death.
Oh god, that's the clutch. Jesus.
Boy, get back,
Buddy
buddy.
boy,
Come on,
get back there. Come
on. Feel redeemed.
Feel redeemed.
Louise.
Well, I'm really sad.
So I think
Yeah, that
I think
Yeah,
what
that
I'm
was
what
a
I'm
bummer.
getting out of this is that the Roval will not be making return to Tonight We Race in future episodes or seasons, except for people we want to punish.
I mean, I could see maybe a cold open, but as a race, it
I am
is.
going to get punted.
I think
to
I
the
am going to
very
get
back
punted to the
because
I don't know about this track.
my move that caused me to get the black flag, cutting the corner at the very end.
Space Beauties, how you doing there, buddy? Can you pull up the results for me?
To the brake from the clutch, and so I put it into the clutch.
Space Beauties, can you give me results?
Why you came out of nowhere so hard? I was like, what?
Yeah, that was definitely me.
I don't think you can. I don't think you can hear me. Hold on. We have something for this.
We do.
We actually have.
I did that too. I was approaching that turn thinking like, which foot do I use to brake?
Space Beauties, can you get me a results screen if you please? Ah, you
Oh,
did.
there it is.
Perfect. Thank you. He did it while I was putting on the damn headset. All right. We've got in feature race 2.
Good shit, everyone. Good shit, everyone.
That was really good. And also Derek coming all the way back up through the field.
Beginning the comeback story, Pod 3 goals in first.
Dang.
AI Matt Holden.
Oh my god. Perfect timing.
Dr. Gould in third. Or, so, well, for our purposes, second. Excuse me.
Something to do during the winter when otherwise you'd be doing nothing.
AI John Hughes.
Real doctor. My best was a 125.
Tonight we race Pod 2, Space Punies.
Me. Derek with a 124.3.
Ted.
Oh damn! Really?
Brett.
Yeah, dude.
AI's Alex and Angela.
Way back there.
Pod 4, which is Conan. Falling from Grace. And Shote, who was extremely unfairly made a punching bag on this one. That was a lot of unfortunate contact.
Yes.
But the numbers are the numbers, and that brings us to... What does that bring us to? Not the splash screen. That's dumb.
No.
The clean. I believe that brings us to... that is all the time we have tonight on Tonight We Race. We will get the race results up in the Discord here as quickly as possible. Shout out to our excellent drivers and my excellent co-host. Also, all the volunteers and support people that make this silly project possible.
And as always, Tonight We Race is a community activity. We play as a community, we talk as a community, and we frequently source our content from the community. That means we want to hear from you. The best place for that is the Discord. Linked in the About section of this channel. If you can keep your nose clean on the track and your language clean around the kids, we'd love for you to add your wheels to our cold open races. The Discord is where you get that information.
Thank you, Trap. And you also may have noticed that we have these racing pods here, and every so often one or more of them is empty for a show. If you reside in the greater Seattle area, are over the age of 18, play well with others, can be scheduled reliably, and are willing to sign a code of conduct, liability waiver, talent release, there may be some pod time for you. This is a volunteer role. You help us make the show more interesting, and you get to sit in the bouncy chair for a segment or two. The Discord, of course, again, is where you would find that information. So thank you for a successful Season 1, Episode 2 of Tonight We Race. We will retire to the green room. We will see you on Saturday for open night, and I don't even know who's going to show up. We'll find out then the same time you do. Have a good one.